I'm just going to do this review now. So, because I was supposed to do it yesterday, I forgot. So I'll do it now so I don't forget again. I read Antivenom. It's only over 99 pages, but hey, I bought it for 99p. And it was worth it, it's good. That's all I really have to say about it. This will go on Thursday the 22nd of August 2022. the moving English teacher was busy with a mental health course thing today, so we were covered by a couple of people, and then she came in for the last half hour, I think. And apparently my mum was taking the same course, despite the fact that she's not a teacher. And what she told me was that something about if you get benefits and you're suicidal, you get this counselor or whatever. But I'm thinking, like, so what if you're not on benefits? They'll just pull a low tier god. Anyway, we were supposed to do the generation of idea. I didn't. I just decided to read what was on the Google Classroom because a lot of stuff was posted on the Google Classroom on the 8th with no time to read it. Like, obviously, I can read it outside class, but I don't want to. So, what I want to do is read all that's on the Google Classroom, then do the generation of idea. Might not have the time, I'll just have to see what happens. I think that might be it. Let me think. No, it doesn't. Lunch, I got chips and chicken curry. And while I was eating it, a fly or a spider or something crawled into my curry. I tried not shade away, but I tried to just make it go away with my fork. Ended up killing it on my fork. I was like, I don't know what to do because I can't just wipe it on myself. There's curry on it. So Dylan came by and he was walking. When I was buying him, I just went, just scraped it off. Didn't notice, but my mate turned around. I was like, "Did you scrape something off my bag? Like, no. He turned around. He saw Dylan's bag. He starts laughing hysterically. At that point, Dylan's like, "Wait, what's happening?" It's like, "Look at your bag. You put curry on my bag." I was like, "I'm the only person that has had lunch because at this point they only just got out." And then we've been playing. What's it called? One bounce. I don't know if that's just the name of it, or just like the rules or whatever, but one bounce football thing. And Dylan, in his usual fashion, kicks the ball far away, blames it on me, runs to get it, brings it back, and then tries to attack me. All he really did was bump into me. Like, it was just like a bump. I didn't fall or anything. Anyway. In English, we were just given the rest of the annotations for scene 1. And we have to finish it for next week, which for me is 11 pages. Don't know if I can find time considering I have media coursework due tomorrow. The generation of idea due on the 7th, which I know that's a bit further away than next Thursday. you know, I think something might have to be late. Anyway, at the end of English, I saw the female head of year shouting at another student, and I went to go home because sometime. But I was actually like, I'm gonna ask her about yesterday, and so I waited, and she's like, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Right, I say I can't. I'm doing mentoring for Sir's class. Okay, speak me a break, and I was like, oh, okay, but then I realized too late that I can't do that because that's my prefect time. So I'll need to email her and say that. Anyway, this Twitter as of 20 to 8 p.m. Thought it was later than that. Now, like, people constantly say that Fortnite is a dead game, but look at this. It just isn't at all. Like, I remember people were constantly talking about when Tifu was like, this game is so dead in, like, August 2019, I think. And it's been over 3 years since then. Look at that. It's top of the Twitter page. What would happen if Putin unleashed a nuclear strike? The end of the world. And it's not just because it's Putin doing it, it's because it's nukes. Why was still filming Cal Rittenhouse? Come on. Yep, here we go. I'm just going to read out these two tweets. Just these two, because it's all the same over and over again. And also, note the fact that this isn't a reply to something. They're not talking about a specific thing that has happened here, except for maybe the bottom one. I don't know yet, because I haven't read it. But maybe it's the anniversary of the trial or something. But it just seems like these people are just like, I really need to vent about Cal Rittenhouse for some reason all of a sudden just now, and they do it. So, Cal Rittenhouse says the media made it hard for him to live a normal life. Well, yeah. The media demonized him for defending himself. So, he's 100% correct in that statement. I think it was the fact that he senselessly killed two people. Right, one of them was a convicted child rapist. And Kyle, at the time, was a child legally in America. And you can see from the footage that it was obvious that the child rapist was going to rape Kyle. So Kyle pulled out his AR-15 and killed the man in self-defense. That's how self-defense works. Right. Kyle isn't a hero. Yeah, he is. He defended himself and he killed a child rapist, so he's a hero. He's a fuck who fetishized brutalizing and killing people. Like, Jesus Christ! Kyle just loves killing. He's an absolute monster. No! Stop! He didn't put himself into a situation. What do you mean he put himself in a situation to do it? He didn't ask to get nearly raped. He's a 17-year-old boy with no combat experience or training who entered a riot zone with an illegally possessed weapon. I don't know about that, because I don't know how the laws for guns works in America other than just you have the right to bear arms. So I'll just assume that that's correct. No one is shocked an inexperienced vigilante gun fanatic killed someone. That's why they were protesting in the first place. I'm sorry, I just really let them do it. I don't know how to word this, like grammatically. Now, I forgot to mention, this says Fire Kyle. But, actually, yeah, let's see this. Murder not a federal crime, it's self-defense, not a federal crime. I don't know if I talked about this or not, but PayPal shut down the account for the Free Speech Union because they were, I don't know if it was them, but there were like a couple other groups that PayPal shut down, and one of them, they were trying to stop Drag Queen Story Hour because it's a pedophile thing. Like, and PayPal shut them down for it because how dare you say that? You just hate drag queens. Anyway, I'm not gonna look at Daredevil because I already know, at least I think I know what it is. Yeah, it's kind of impossible to do without giving spoilers, so I'm just gonna say it. It's obvious to me from someone was talking about Daredevil in moving image today, and also the way that the last episode of She-Hulk ended, like last week's. I know that there's a new one out today, and I'm going to assume that that's the episode that Daredevil's in. So that's why I'm down. I haven't. Oh no, I was having problems with Instagram because I went onto it. I saw Stus's new comic, and it was like a 2-panel comic. Went on to the second panel, which is, I'm honestly surprised that he didn't censor it because he censors quite a bit of his panels on Instagram. But as soon as I flicked on the second panel, it crashed. Went back on Instagram, looked at it again. I thought, wait, are they crashing specifically my account for looking at Stone Toss? Scrolled to the second panel again, crashed. Went back on Instagram, and it crashed immediately without me even looking at the comic. Those spaghetti straps are too distracting for class.
Соловей он за сектор Г.
Twitch blocked the channel of a Russian who was broadcasting his 24/7 gas over the Europeans. Oh no! How terrible! He was broadcasting a gas stove. It's honestly just, hating on Russians for being Russian at this point, which it's not racist. I don't know what the word is. Internet censorship is more consequential to humanity than climate change. But you all ain't ready for that conversation. Can't speak today. If I like the anime version of it enough, I honestly never gave it a fair shot because I controversial was. Yeah, it's controversial because it is one of the most terrible things to ever exist in the world. And it's not just controversial, it's outright illegal. Especially in the UK.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize.
Jill. More than arrested after Putin's mobilization, and that's when it sparks protests across Russia. The legacy media suddenly finds sympathy for the brutalized protesters in Russia after having precisely none for brutalized anti-lockdown protesters across Europe and in Canada and Australia. Why'd you have and? Interesting how this vile murder of an 18-year-old conservative by a crazed left-wing lunatic has received so little media attention really doesn't fit the narrative, does it? Released on bail. I mean, right, he's only accused of it. So, fair enough, but just... This looks familiar. Excuse my stomach. As masking creeps into Twitter timelines again, let's just remind ourselves that the corona epidemic curves were no different between Scotland and England, even though they kept masks in many settings, had vaccine passports and other restrictions after we stopped. These things do sod all. North Dakota man free after admitting he mowed down Republican teen over politics, records show. Left-wing political terrorist is walking free after intentionally killing an 18-year-old because he was Republican just weeks after Biden declares war on MAGA. Not one J6 defendant is charged with murder, yet they are rotting pre-trial in jail, not allowed to post bail. Rand Paul vowed this week to continue to expose the origins of the pandemic and uncover a paper trail that he is positive will lead back to the Wuhan lab, research funded by Pfizer and the NIH. So, I know all about the China lab theory because we've had that since like February 2020. But I didn't know that Fauci was actually involved with that lab. I thought he was just like, oh, there's that thing. You know, he was looking at China going, what they doing over there? I can make a lot of money off this. I didn't know he actually... Hell, he could have created the virus. Appearing on Hannity Wednesday night, President Trump declared that he doesn't see how the Justice Department could prosecute him because as president he had the power to declassify documents by just thinking about it. Fake news blame for violence. Thank God for that. For a moment there I was worried we'd have to analyse the real causes. Former White House advisor Jared Kushner criticised Ron DeSantis over the Florida governor's migrant flights to Martha's Vineyard, claiming he was troubled by the situation. So, we've talked about Martha's Vineyard before, but what I didn't know was that Ron DeSantis, who is a very based person, was like, oh, so all you celebrities are always like, oh, diversity is our strength, we need to accept more immigrants. Well, I'm going to send 50 immigrants to the place where people like Obama live. And when they got there, all the rich people were like, no, and then they were forced out, the immigrants. And when they were leaving, they, like, all the rich people clapped and cheered. No words, just watch. The video was of Biden. Like, he was making a speech, and then he left, and then he kept going back and forth over and over again. Well, the government takes steps to... Actually, it's a 1 minute video. Well, 2 minutes, basically.
Deputy Speaker,
does my right honourable friend share my deep concern about the decision of PayPal, the online payments company, to cancel the accounts of certain organisations, including Us For Them, who campaigned against the COVID lockdowns, and perhaps most ironically the Free Speech Union, who appear to have been targeted because of their views on sex and gender. As we move towards a cashless economy, these companies form part of the essential infrastructure of ordinary life. And will the government take steps to ensure they cannot discriminate against individuals or organisations on the basis of perfectly legal political views?
So the honourable gentleman may have further information than I do about the PayPal have cancelled the account and that facility from the organisations that he mentions. But from what I understand, the Free Speech Union and other organisations are also still in the dark about exactly why they have had those services removed from them, despite making great efforts to find out. And I think this is a common theme amongst our casework for many members in this House, whether it's cancelling contracts, whether it is trying to get an error resolved with firms. It is very difficult for people to speak directly to someone to try and get a situation resolved or make a decision about reorganising how they're going to, in the case that he raises, make those payments. I think that is a very good topic for a debate, and I would encourage honourable members who are concerned about customer services in some of these organisations to bring it forward and ask for a debate in the usual way.
In the process of cancelling my PayPal, kind of big tech companies to feel they can bully people for questioning mainstream groupthink don't deserve anyone's business. Grocery shopping under the social credits courses. I'm sorry, you misgendered a drag queen on Twitter. Your card payment has been declined. Your account has been closed. This looks familiar. I don't remember how you do this. I think I'm doing it right. I did it right. Diversity is a strength. Refugees welcome. Unless they get anywhere near wealthy, elitist, leftist-run luxury islands, then they're swiftly deported within 48 hours. So Morris is back on his BS. Here you go, you cunt. Like, post your evidence. I'll wait. Adventers, why don't you just open your DMs to see the evidence? Why does it need to be buried in this thread for you? The kind of is real. If he doesn't have any, then you've got nothing to lose either way. Remember, your mate told you the real situation anyway. My pal said he's been a pure BS merchant the whole time. He's known him. That your pal that gave you all the completely incorrect information. Well, you did work on a call center. They did tell me that. Literally anyone could have told you that. One of my very first videos ever was me ranting about how crap call centers are. 2 videos, actually, talking about how crap call centers are. Also, pretty much every Scottish person from the Central Belt has worked in a call center at least once. That's not exactly some Sherlock crap. Hi. When you posted... What you posted isn't proof, Marcus. It's a screenshot. You went from, I'm going to post my SIA, to conveniently losing it. Not me that's lying. Conveniently losing it. Why would I hold on to a 5-year-old expired license? I didn't think. Crap, better keep this. Might have to prove I worked in security to some random Twitter liar one day. And it's a screenshot of my license registration from the official SIA site. Mate, you've just been given your proof. Just admit you're lying and move on. All this because someone didn't believe your hands were accurately representative of your work history. What a world. Probably one of the dumbest arguments I had to have on here. No easy feat. Very true, they are crap. I guess that's why you made up tons of security jobs. You told people you did all while working in a warehouse for 12 years. Except I didn't make any of them up, and you're still going with that even after getting completely wrecked. I'm actually impressed how you're still trying to tell the same lie that you just got proven so stupendously wrong. Screenshot isn't proof. You said you want to post your license, you didn't. Told you I don't have it since it is a 5-year-old expired license. Instead, I showed you a literal entry in the SIA license database. Like, how is that not evidence? Do you think a hacker man went to the SIA in the last 20 minutes to make a fake entry? If an official registry of the literal security in SIA is not enough evidence for you, then I'm sorry, man. I'm not sure where to go from here. I've never argued with someone this stupid and dishonest, so this is new territory for me. Nope, I don't think you can hack it all. Faking a screenshot, though, easy. It's not a fake screenshot, though. You're just making crap up now because you're so desperate to not look wrong. Man, I honestly don't think I've ever seen anyone deny reality this hard just because they want to trick themselves into thinking they want an argument on Twitter. Fanus is talking about denying reality. Ha. So we've moved on to the projection stage. Smashing. I wanted to laugh at you crying, but you losing grip on reality is pretty concerning, to be honest. I'm not finding it funny anymore, just kind of sad. Ha! You've proven nothing except you can't back up anything with proof. My pal's definitely right about you. CS point. State your sources. Who is your pal? And I guarantee he's gonna, like, obviously he's gonna not name it. But if you were to say something like, oh, it's Sue, or it's Gary, yeah. Or it's Carl. Um, Provided proof you're just denying it's real because that's the only argument you have. I actually know an old mate of yours said you were a BS merchant and you used to piss your pants all the time. You're so pathetic. You even tried to tell me the company I worked for in the 90s didn't exist until 2007. Because it didn't exist until 2007. You look at the website for the company you provided, it said established 2007. I provided proof that it actually did, and you double down by saying Wiki isn't evidence enough. Go back to sending your cock and balls to 14-year-old fans. Wikipedia that can be edited by anyone or company's house. The official government register of companies. Look how raging you are. Right. Marcus, you're not a teacher. Don't be like, hey, Wikipedia can be edited by anyone. No, it's not how it works. So you're still telling me DFC was on a company doing most concerts and events in Glasgow in the 90s, including Tea in the Park? Huh. You do this weird thing where you completely ignore all the stuff that wrecks your arguments and instead just throw out red herring to divert away from it. Strange behaviour, only really dishonest people do that. You were still wrong, and I hope you keep crying about it. Pure projection. Except it's not, though, is it? My opinion correct. Your opinion wrong. It really is, but it's not. I'm glad that screenshot cuts out where it does. I don't know if you actually see Dr. Manhattan's dick in the comics, but I know you do in the show, which if you haven't seen, go watch it. It's great. If you actually, it's not the way. Security. I sat in a cabin in bumhell nowhere and hope robbers don't kill my skull, and it's happened to everyone I work with. I'm lucky. Later's, you nonce. Thanks for further proving that I work in security. Damn, that's some very hard projection you're going with now, but your stupidity has been entertaining. Thank you. Sitting in the cabin in the middle of nowhere isn't working indoors in Glasgow, pal. You have numerous times pure fantasy, either that or you're delusional. Anyway, thanks for playing. It's been fun. All this time, you still can't understand that security can mean doing all kinds of different contracts. That night, I would have been doing static. Then at the weekend doors. Sorry, my eye hurts. You would understand this if you actually work in security, but you didn't. Bye. I've never dated someone with an OnlyFans. That's such a shame because I was really hoping to go out with a boring, insecure loser. Probably not one to bring home to meet the mother. This has to be the saddest scene in the history of cinema. I'm here to ruin everyone's day.